Hey, Carolyn, how are you doing? Welcome. Good morning. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for stopping by, my love. I sincerely appreciate you. Those of you who are here, guys, you are welcome to get your book Bible or your Google Bible and follow along with me. There are some times when while I am reading, I might stop and go back to stuff that I've read previously. Like yesterday, we had to go back and take a look. We went back and took a look yesterday at, I think it was Second Chronicles. Yeah, sometimes we do go back and look at what we have read before because it might be in alignment with what we are reading now. And sometimes it is contrary, and we're trying to figure out where the controversy comes in. Every time I say that word controversy, I remember this book I'd read called The Great Controversy. I don't know if you all have ever read that book, but it's a book that was written by Ellen G. White. The Great Controversy, I think it's called. I don't know, something like that. But anyway, welcome into the live, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming. Get your book Bible or your Google Bible and follow along with me as we read. We are onto the book of I keep saying Zephaniah, but it is Zechariah. And we are just about, as soon as we finish Zechariah, it is until Malachi. And then, as everybody has been telling me, Trev, I can't wait for you to get to the New Testament because the New Testament has all of this information that is going to blow your mind. Believe me, I can't wait. I can't wait. Winsome, how are you doing, Winsome? Good morning, Winsome. Winsome, finally, it seems like this thing has come on. I hope it stays on. So, I mean, later today or tomorrow sometime, I'm going to, I'm, I'm, I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna promise, but I'm going to try to read Zechariah 1 through 5 on the tube maybe later today or tomorrow. I'm not sure I'm going to do it on a live. I might just read it and post it because for the last few days we haven't been able to attach to the tube while we do the reading. I'm sorry about that, Sister Winsome. I'm very sorry about that. But anywho, we are here now, so take me as I am. Okay, Sister Winsome? All right, guys. So with that and with all the talking that I do, let us get cracking. Zechariah chapter 6. Zechariah chapter 6. And I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, there came 4 chariots out from between 2 mountains. And the mountains were mountains of brass. In the first chariot were red horses, and in the second chariot were black horses. Eh, eh. Wait a second. Thank you so much, Adara. I appreciate you, my love. Thank you so much. And in the third chariot, okay, so he saw what? 4 chariots? Okay. So this is Zechariah talking, guys. So he says he saw 4 chariots. In the first chariot were red horses. In the second chariot were black horses. And in the third chariot were white horses. And in the fourth chariot, grizzled and bay horses. Grizzled and bay horses. How grizzled horses look? We don't know. Maybe like grizzly bear? I don't know. But take note, people, we are on to the book of Zechariah, chapter 6. Then I answered and said unto the angel that talked with me, what are these, my Lord? And the angel answered and said unto me, These are the four spirits of the heavens, which go forth from standing before the Lord of all the earth. Huh? The black horses which are therein go forth into the north country. Oh, all right. And the white go forth after them, and the grizzled go forth towards the south country. And the bay went forth and sought to go that they might walk to and fro through the earth. And he said, Get you hence, walk to and fro through the earth. So they walked to and fro through the earth. Huh? Beautiful people, AG. What's up, AG? How you doing? All right, people, mighty God. What's going on here? All right. Verse 8. Then cried he upon me, and spake unto me, saying, Behold, these that go towards the north country have quieted my spirit in the north country. But it was the black horses that went to the north country, right, people? Yes? Well, I'll make a little note. I'll make a little note here, so. So the black horses went to the north country. And now he says, He said and he spake unto me, saying, Behold, these that go towards the north country have quieted my spirit in the north country. What that mean? What that mean? The spirit, the black horses quieted his spirit in the north country. Does that mean that the that he can no longer exude his power in the north country because of the black horses? What in the world that mean? I don't know. But let me keep on reading. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Take of them of the captivity, even of Heldai, of Tobijah, and of Jediah, which are come from Babylon, and come thou the same day, and go into the house of Josiah, the son of Zephaniah. Then take silver and gold, and make crowns, and set them upon the head of Joshua the son of Josedek, the high priest. And speak unto him, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, Behold, the man whose name is the branch. Now remember yesterday when we were reading, that was the first time I came across this person called the branch in Zechariah chapter 3 and verse 8. It had spoken about the branch. Now, some people who were in the chat yesterday had an idea. They were saying, who they believe the branch to be. But since I haven't read it yet in the Bible, I did not say too much about it. But here we see it again. And if you wanted to go back to Zechariah chapter 3 and verse 8, where it says, Hear now, O Joshua the high priest, thou and thy fellows that sit before thee, for they are men wondered at. For, behold, I will bring forth my servant, the branch. All right? Now over here in chapter 6 and verse 12, he says, And speak unto him, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, Behold, the man whose name is the branch, and he shall grow up out of his place, and he shall build the temple of the Lord. Let's continue. Verse 13 says, even he shall build the temple of the Lord, and he shall bear the glory, and shall sit and rule upon his throne, and he shall be a priest upon his throne, and the counsel of peace shall be between them both. And the crown shall be, and the crowns shall be to Helam, and to Tobijah, and to Jedaiah, and to Hen, the son of Zephaniah. So there was Josiah, son of Zephaniah, and Hen, son of Zephaniah. So those are brothers. For the memorial of the temple of God. So this Josiah and Hen, sons of Zephaniah. Okay. Verse 15, and they that are far off shall come and build in the temple of the Lord, and he shall know that the Lord of hosts hath sent me unto you. And this shall come to pass, if ye will diligently obey the voice of the Lord your God. Here ends the reading of Zechariah chapter 6. All right, you all hear my fumbles right there, because I'm not sure what these horses, these different colored horses, and where they go. I'm not sure what that means, but clear it's some kind of a vision from, it's some kinds of a vision that Zechariah had. Okay, let us continue with Zechariah chapter 7. And it came to pass in the 4th year of King Darius, that the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month, even in Chislew, when they had sent unto the house of God Sherezer and Regemelech and their men to pray before the Lord, and to speak unto the priests which were in the house of the Lord of hosts, and to the prophets, saying, should I weep in the 5th month, separating myself, as I have done these so many years? Then came the word of the Lord of hosts unto me, saying, speak unto all the people of the land, and to the priests, saying, when ye fasted and mourned in the 5th and 7th month, even those 70 years, did ye at all fast unto me, even to me? And when ye did eat, and when ye did drink, did not ye eat for yourselves, and drink for yourselves? Should ye not hear the words which the Lord hath cried by the former prophets, when Jerusalem was inhabited and in prosperity, and the cities thereof round about her, when men inhabited the south and the plain? And the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah, saying, thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, execute true judgment, and show mercy and compassions, every man to his brother, and oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor, and let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. But they refused to hearken, and pulled away the shoulder, and stopped their ears. that they should not hear. Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear, the law and the words which the Lord of hosts hath sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts. Okay. Verse 13. Therefore it is come to pass that as he cried, and they would not hear, so they cried, and I would not hear, said the Lord. Why? I don't know. But in the Bible, I have encountered more revenge, I should say, than grace and peace. I've been reading from Genesis, and I'm now at Zechariah, almost done with the Old Testament. And there is just so much lack of empathy, lack of grace, lack of, you know, and I know people say, oh, but if you do wrong, you expect God to punish you and stuff. But remember, this was the people who were supposed to be who, according to the Bible, were still being considered the chosen people. Their society, which had been established from Moses' time, coming down, it still needed a lot of work because there were still a lot of people, this like new generation, as I'm reading, who there was a lot of work to be done with them, because it's like this new generation was not as adamant about their religious convictions as their foreparents were. I Am Legend says Christ brought dispensation of peace. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So, are you therefore telling me that the lack of peace that I read of here in the Old Testament, it really never existed? So I could not have expected any peace. If that is your argument, then I would say that the God or the Lord that they are talking about here, then, would it be okay if I treated those conversations similarly? Remember, it is Christ who intercedes on our behalf. I remembering nothing because I don't know. I don't know anything, my love. I don't know anything. I'm coming into this as a blank slate. I am reading and trying to understand as I go along. So I have absolutely no previous knowledge. I haven't been indoctrinated into anything. I'll pretend as though. Okay? So I'm not entertaining any, oh, you remember this? Oh, did you know that? Because I don't know none of this. I was socialized into believing. I was indoctrinated into believing something that I had absolutely no clue about. All right. So legend says everybody keeps telling me when you get to the New Testament, I can't wait to get to the New Testament because it really does seems like there is a lot in the New Testament for me. Because there's not one morning I come here that somebody don't say to me, wait till you get to the New Testament. You will see when you get to the New Testament. So you are making me anxious to get to the New Testament because I want to hear what it got to say. Karen, bless up yourself. How are you doing? Good to see you, my love. Okay. I forget my train of thought, but that's all right. We are going to continue. We are going to continue. We are, for those of you just coming, we are on the book of Zechariah, chapter 7. Now, guys, don't forget, this is not Bible study. I am not teaching. I'm not teaching anything. I am not a biblical scholar. I am not a theologian. I am just an ordinary person um, trying to read this book here. Try to read this book here that has been presented to me from birth. Um, I'm trying to read it from beginning to end to see what is in it and why was it presented to me, and then to determine whether or not it. Okay, I hear you. Okay, let me get back to this. Legend says the Old Testament represents the old law, the old way of doing things. Oh, okay. All right. All right. I hear you. I hear you, legend. We are going to continue to read. Let's continue. Verse 13 of chapter 7 of the book of Zechariah says, therefore, it is come to pass that as he cried, and they would not hear, so they cried, and I would not hear, saith the Lord of hosts. Now, this is Zechariah speaking, this is Zechariah saying, the Lord said this to him. I just want to make sure we keep that in mind, that this is one man saying that the Lord said this, right? Okay. Just making sure we all on the same page. But I scattered them with a whirlwind among all the nations whom they knew not. Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through, nor returned, for they laid the pleasant land desolate. So therefore, when the prophets, when I read the writings of the prophets, something like this that I just read now, where Zechariah is saying the Lord said he scattered the Jewish people among nations that they did not know. We saw where that happened, because with the destruction of Jerusalem, um, though many of them were slain, many of them were taken captives in Babylon. Many of them, ran away sought refuge in neighboring countries. Many of them ran to Egypt. They ran to the mountains. They ran to Syria. They just wanted to escape the wrath that was descending on Israel, and so they ran for safety. So here it seems as though the Bible is saying this was all designed by their God to scatter them, to destroy them, to cause the whole of Israel to become desolate by having the people being either killed or chased out, whatever the case may be. But then in the same Bible here, it insists that the Jewish people were the chosen people, were the ones who their God, according to the Bible, was supposed to give all the earth for them to have all this dominion, and for them to have all this power and all this wealth, and for their numbers to be more than the sand of the ocean, and all of this. So why promise something and give the opposite? All right, I'm gonna say, okay, go back to verse 13, and you will see why. because it says they didn't obey me, they didn't pay attention to me, so I ain't paying attention to them. When I spoke to them, they didn't listen. So now when they speak to me, I will not listen. Thus said the Lord of hosts. I'm not sure about you all, and I know some people say, oh, maybe you are trying to ascribe human qualities to the Most High. Well, maybe I am. And I don't think anything should be wrong with that. Because for me, I cannot accommodate the hatred and the anger and the revengefulness and oftentimes pettiness of the God that is spoken of here as it is presented to me by these prophets who have written about their experiences with him. So I really can't help it. It's what is presented to me. It's not what I have made up. Because I haven't made anything up. It is from this. Because how can you say you have this is your God and you are serving him? But when you make a mistake, he punishes you by not saying I'm punishing you because you did this wrong and you knew better. But when I talk to you, you did not listen. So now when you talk to me, I will not listen. So who has the power here? It's like a mom saying to a child, when I tell you not to pick up that stick, you did not listen. So now when you tell me that you are hungry, I will not listen. How does that work? Well, that might be something to mull over for the rest of today, but I have my feelings towards that because it comes off to me as petty. But remember, Zechariah is a man. He's just an ordinary man writing what he claims to be his experience, his vision, that he claims to see his vision. And I don't know. I don't have to believe Zechariah's vision. Because if I come here and I tell you my vision, you think you have to believe it? No. Because sometimes our visions are guided by our thoughts. When we wish and we think that things should happen a particular way, sometimes you go to bed and in your sleep, you see the thing that you wish for happening. And you wake up and say, oh, I had a vision last night of XYZ. That's what was on your mind when you went to your bed. Okay? So you don't have to believe it. I don't have to, but it's what's written in the Bible. So we're going to continue reading. Legend says when we get to the New Testament, we will find out all the Old Testament will make sense. Somebody else said that yesterday. And trust me, I can't wait because a lot of this does require some additional reading, if you all understand what I'm saying. We're going to move on to chapter 8 of the book of Zechariah. Again, the word of the Lord of hosts came to me, saying, thus said the Lord of hosts, I was jealous for Zion with great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. All right, we're going to read that again. Again, the word of the Lord of hosts came to me, that me is Zechariah, saying, thus said the Lord of hosts, I was jealous for Zion with great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. Thus saith the Lord, I am returned unto Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth. Legend said, you do understand that when sin came into the world, it separated man from God. Legend, I do understand that God made both the sin and its opposite. So sin did not just came into the world, it was created according to the Bible by the same person who created the opposite. But let us continue reading. Verse 3 said, thus saith the Lord, I am returned unto Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. And Jerusalem, what? What are you say about God didn't create sin, so who did? So who did? Anyway, let us continue. And the mountain of the Lord, well, let me read back chapter 3 again, verse 3 again. Thus said the Lord, I am returned unto Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and the mountain of the Lord of hosts, the holy mountain. Thus said the Lord of hosts, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with his staff in his hand for very age. Okay, I get sometimes the language in the Bible, the way they write can be confusing because that is not how we speak. So so for this verse 4 here, it is saying, thus said the Lord of hosts, there shall be old men and old women dwelling in the streets of Jerusalem, and each one shall have his staff in his hand, that's his cane, to show his age. And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets. Okay. Thus said the Lord of hosts, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, should it also be marvelous in mine eyes? Said the Lord of hosts. Thus said the Lord of hosts, behold, I will save my people from the east country and from the west country. Verse 8, and I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God in truth and in righteousness. Let me see what legend is saying here. Legend says the great war that happened in heaven where Lucifer and 2/3 of the angels were cast out. Okay. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that legend. All right. You see, I'm a little bit too realistic for a fantasy world. You know what I mean? Um, I don't do well with fantasy. I do great with reality. But anywho, it's not for me to be for or against anybody's belief. Okay? You do know that the Bible says God created everything, both good and evil, right? Okay. I had it marked somewhere here, but go look it up. Yeah, the Bible did say God created all things, both good and evil. And that was what had led us to the conversation a few days ago where we were talking about if God created all things, both good and evil, and knew what their antagonistic presence was going to mean for mankind, why therefore, why therefore did he create evil to begin with? Is it because he wanted an opposing energy so that from acknowledging that opposing energy, we would have to pray to him, acknowledge him for him to save us from these negative energies? Is that a setup? I'm only asking, I'm only asking as my thoughts roll around in my head. I'm only asking because if I know that if I give you food, your belly gonna be full, you're gonna be sustained, you're gonna live. And I know that the opposite will happen if I don't give you food. And then I don't give you food. And you start to starve and holler to me and begging me for the food. What would you call me? All right, think about it. How would you think of me if I did that? Well, anyway, a little bit more to munch on for the day. But let us continue. We are on to chapter 8 of verse 9 of the book of Zechariah. Thus said the Lord of hosts, let your hands be strong. He that hear in these days these words by the mouth of the prophets, which were in the day that the foundation of the house of the Lord of hosts was laid, that the temple might be built. For before these days there was no hire for men, nor any hire for beasts, neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of the affliction. For I set all men, every one against his neighbor. Who is that I that he's talking about? Who is that I that he's talking about? Is that the Lord he's saying? Let's go back. Verse 9. And we are on to chapter 8 and verse 9 of the book of Zechariah. And according to Zechariah, he says, thus said the Lord of hosts, let your hands be strong. He that hear in these days these words by the mouth of the prophets, which were in the day that the foundation of the house of the Lord of hosts was laid, that the temple might be built. For before these days there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast, neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of the affliction. For I, no, that I is the Lord, for I set all men, every one against his neighbor. No, this is not me who say it. It is the Bible that says, the Lord says, there shall be nobody coming in and out of here, because I have set every man against his neighbor. Why would God do that? Why would God deliberately set people against each other? How would that God Are you that? Bless up yourself. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? But let us continue reading. But now I will not be unto the residue of this people as in the former days, saith the Lord of hosts. For the seed shall be prosperous, the vine shall give her fruit, and the ground shall give her increase, and the heavens shall give their dew. And I will cause the remnant of this people to possess all these things. And it shall come to pass that as ye were accursed among the heathen, O house of Judah and house of Israel, so will I save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong. I don't know. I want to say in the chat the why the talker tell me say it's filtering some of your comments. I want to ask the people, don't say nothing rude, don't say nothing bad. Even though the talk is always saying people are say things bad and something, and when you go back go look on what the people them say, eh, ain't nothing about it that is insulting. I just can't stand them people here. What they control this algorithm. They get on my nerves sometimes. It's supposed to be a place where people can express themselves. I understand there are times when people are being downright and outrightly rude, and you have to, filter the comments. But oftentimes they're not. Me think so the people them behind it sometimes probably don't even understand what they are blocking. Um, Legend says one is moral evil and the other is calamity. God doesn't create moral evil. Where I say it must be you. Then I why I say so. Then I why I say why them I block your comments. Sometimes it's just one little word, and them get them britches in a bundle and start blocking people's comments. I don't know why they keep doing that. But anyway, he says one is moral evil and the other is calamity. God doesn't create moral evil. So who does? I was talking about evil. Oh, you were talking about evil and the Greek meaning, and they blocked you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Well, when you say God does not create moral evil, um, who does? Because if you tell me that Satan does, I'm going to ask you who created Satan? Uh, and we're going to go down a rabbit hole right there because we're never going to find the end. If God created all things according to the Bible, that God created all things, both good and evil. And the Bible says so on me. What he said, that's what you saw in the book of Isaiah when God created Satan. What did I see in the book of Isaiah when God created Satan? And in the book of Isaiah, God created Satan. It cannot be in the book of Isaiah that God created Satan. Because if you say that God did not create evil, Satan created evil. Who created Satan? And God says he creates all things good and evil, according to the Bible. So if God creates all things good and evil, including Satan, why would he have created an antagonistic energy to his? Was it not okay for us to live in peace and love and unity? Was it not enough? And that is why I say I could live in peace without even having to worry about the Bible. I could live in perfect peace without the Bible, but just knowing that I take care of the people around me, you know, the mantra of loving each other and doing to others as you would have them do unto you. Talk to me, legend, because you do make a lot of sense. But talk to me. He didn't create angels to be antagonistic, but Satan was jealous about God's ability to give breath to man. Okay, I'm listening. I'm listening. That's what you were socialized into believing, right? Because there had to be an explanation. Somebody had to come up with what they call a plausible explanation as to why what is written in the Bible is written as it is. There had to be some kind of explanation. Don't you think that way before me and you started to worry about what the Bible said, there were people who were worried about human existence? How did we get here? Why did we come here? How are we supposed to continue living here? Don't you think that those concerns were the basis for a lot of literature, a lot of thought-provoking ideas, as such as is expressed in the Bible? Don't you think so? If the Bible was never ever compiled, say the Bible was never ever compiled, and you and I are living today in today's world without a Bible at all, don't you think that the minds of men would still be exploring how we got here and how are we supposed to live while we are here? It would be. So it is no different that these earlier people were exploring humans' existence and believing that, of course, there has to be a being that is responsible for us being here. That's why they came up with their God. There has to be. The people who they call heathen in the Bible, those were the people who did not believe that their God resided in the heavens above. They believed that they could fashion their God from stone, dirt, gold, silver, whatever the case may be. And the Jewish people called those people heathen because they did not believe what they believed. They did not believe that their God existed up in heaven. Now, if you ask me, I could sit here and imagine that, wow, how did this world come about? How did this earth come about? Oh, there must be a God somewhere. There must be something somewhere that is responsible. Even if I never read the Bible, that could be a thought. That could be a provocative thought, all because of my experience. That's how the mind works. You think about the things you experience, the things you have, and you wonder why. That is how we come up with electricity. That is how we come up with all kinds of technology. Do you think Wi-Fi? Do you think Wi-Fi never existed all this time? Of course it did. We just hadn't been able to. We hadn't just hadn't discovered it, and there are lots more discoveries left in the world for humanity. And it's from the mind working over time, thinking about what we have and what we could have. You know, that's how we end up with things today, technology today, that we never had 100 years ago. Satan was jealous of God's ability to give breath to man. Who created Satan? And if you believe that what the Bible says, that God knows everything even before it happens, then he would have known that Satan would have been an antagonistic energy in his space. He would have known that. So are you therefore telling me that there are some things that God don't know? If I'm supposed to believe what the Bible says, or the Bible presents to me, this God, this all-knowing God who knows everything even before it happens, then you would have to agree with me that God knew that this energy was creating called Satan was going to be an antagonistic force to him, and that all of this was going to happen. At what point are you therefore telling me that God created Satan? Was it in the beginning when he created everything else? Because if it was at that time when he created everything else, then all of this that is in the Bible was predetermined. Prove me wrong. Because it's not like he created Satan, he would have created Satan afterwards. No, that wouldn't sound realistic. Remember, I'm not going by my thoughts, I'm going by what the Bible says, not what I think. I am just trying to decipher what the Bible says to make it make sense to me. To make it make sense to me. I don't know who is asking me to go live together. No, me not going no live together. Who this Shelby lover? No. If there is somebody wants to come up, have something to say, I will be more than happy to accommodate. But me not play no match. No match, people, please. Don't invite me to a match. We ain't play no match. I'm sorry. Okay. But let us continue with the reading. Let us continue. Verse 12 of chapter 8. For the seed shall be prosperous, the vine shall give her fruit, and the ground shall give her increase. And the heaven shall give their due, and I will cause the remnant of this people to possess all these things. And it shall come to pass that as ye were a curse among the heathen, O house of Judah and house of Israel, so will I save you. So will I save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong. Well, on. You're reading from King James Version. Legend say you're reading from the King James Version. I wouldn't have recommended that version for you. I'm reading from the version I have, Legend. Yes, I'm reading from the version I have. We know that the Bible has been printed and reprinted and put in different versions. The language has been modified to accommodate changes in language and stuff like that. But I guess the understanding of it shouldn't change much. Um, I don't think. I don't think. So I'm reading it nonetheless. Because when I was being presented with the Bible as my guide, nobody said, make sure it's not the King James Version or make sure it's not the International Version, etc. Because the original Greek text was a lot of words that got lost in translation. I bet a lot of words got lost in translation. I don't doubt that at all, you know. But the meaning of it, the meaning of what we are reading should not be so adversely affected that it makes it renders it incomprehensible. When I read something where there's a missing word, I can always modify it to suit my modern understanding of language. Hello, Sharina, how you doing? But let us continue, verse 14. For thus said the Lord of hosts, as I thought to punish you when your fathers provoked me to wrath, saith the Lord of hosts, and I repented not. That means I punish you, but I ain't sorry about it. Like even the word evil, meaning moral evil and also calamity. But for biblical purposes, they could be used interchangeably. Verse 15. So again have I thought in these days to do well unto Jerusalem, unto the house of Judah. Fear he not. So Zechariah is here now saying that God is saying he's going to be present in the new Jerusalem. He's going to be present there. They shouldn't have any fear because he's not going to do to them like he did to their foreparents. Well, you say, no, not really. They couldn't be used interchangeably. Well, they have. They have. That is why when we read, we got to read and get the context of what we are reading. Because once you're reading and you get the context of what you're reading, who is speaking and what they're speaking about, that will help you to understand the text even better. If you're just grabbing one verse and reading that one verse without getting context of what is being talked about, you may not get the understanding of it from just one verse. That's what I have learned from reading the Bible and from reading just about any book. If I pick up one of my novels and I just flip the page and read one and read one paragraph, it's not going to help me much because I don't know exactly what they're talking about. I haven't gotten the full context of what they're talking about. And it's the same with the Bible. Verse 16 says, these are the things that he shall do. Speak ye every man the truth to his neighbor. Execute the judgment of truth and peace in your gates. And let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against your neighbor. And love no false oath. For all these are things that I hate, saith the Lord. Legend says the New International Version wouldn't have used evil in that same sentence. It would have said calamity. Okay. Okay. But the context would have allowed me to understand what they're talking about. Evil, calamity, destruction, disaster, any word along that line will give me the same understanding. Hey, Sydney, what's up? Oh, and I would not have left with the belief that God creates evil. So who created it? Since you know who created it, let me know. I'm listening. Hold on, let me look for something else. I can't find it. Hold on. Destruction isn't always evil. Okay. There is a context where the word evil would be more suited than the word destruction. It's about context, legend. Okay? I could get my choice of words. My choice of words could be different from yours, but it conveys the same meaning to the listener. And you may say, oh, Trev, maybe the word destruction, to get, you could use the word evil, that would convey a different meaning, but it's along the same line. Yeah, so it's all about context. But we're gonna continue because my time. Have you ever heard of Matthew Henry? No, sir. First me I hear that name, legend. Who is he? Who is Matthew Henry? Where is he from? Where is he from? I don't mind knowing new people. Come talk to me. Let me see if Google will tell me who Matthew Henry is. Hold on, I'm looking. Matthew Henry. Says Matthew Henry, the author. Okay, his commentary on the Bible. All right, so we're going to take a look at Matthew Henry. All right. Look him up online. Was a biblical and Greek scholar who did expositions on the Bible. Yeah, I'm just seeing it here. Thank you for that because I'd never heard of him before. Eh, okay, we are going to. All right, I'm going to take a look at him some more. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Legend, for that. I will take a look. I'll read some more about him and his commentary and what he had to say and what he had to say about the Bible. All right, let us continue. We are on to Zechariah chapter 8. For those of you who are just coming, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget, this is not Bible study. I am here reading the Bible for myself, trying to understand its contents, and I'm choosing to share this with the world. I'm choosing to do it out loud. Okay, let us continue. Zechariah chapter 8 says, and the word of the Lord of hosts came unto me, saying, Thus said the Lord of hosts, the fast of the 4th month, and the fast of the 5th, and the fast of the 7th, and the fast of the 10th shall be to the house of Judah joy and gladness and cheerful feasts. Therefore, love the truth and peace. Thus said the Lord of hosts, It shall yet come to pass that there shall come people and the inhabitants of many cities, and the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, Let us go speedily to pray before the Lord, and to seek the Lord of hosts. I will go also. Yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Lord of hosts in Jerusalem and to pray before the Lord. Okay, legend says you can read his commentary along with the Bible. It will help to make things clearer. Thank you so much, legend. Latisa, good morning, Nurse Latisa. How are you doing, my love? Good to see you. Blessings, blessings, blessings to you on this. Our day now, Wednesday morning. On this Wednesday morning, my love. All right, let us continue. Now it says that people will be coming to Jerusalem to pray. Have yourself a great day, my love. Thank you so much for checking in. I sincerely appreciate you. Thank you so, so much. Thank you so much, my dear. Hope you have yourself a great day. Don't let them work you too hard now. Okay, we are now on to chapter 8 of and verse 23. Thus said the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew. Hold on. Yes, Latisa. Yeah, just give them one of your kind of talk so they won't mess with you no more. Oh my gosh, guys, y'all gotta turn your Bibles to Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 23. Thus said the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go forth with you, for we have heard that God is with you. Now, if you all remember when we were reading yesterday, it talked about God sending off the people, scattering the people, making them speak languages that they did not understand. Y'all remember that? I know I marked it here. Let me take a look. That he sent them off, he scattered them, allowing them to speak languages that they didn't understand. That to me was a little bit odd because I was like, why would he, why would God scatter the people, allowing them to speak languages, different languages that they didn't, each other didn't understand? Why wouldn't he want them to understand each other when they were, say, talking to him or praying to him, whatever the case may be? Why would he not want them to understand each other? I can't tell. I can't tell. But we're going to continue reading. We are going, where is Cod? Cod, where are you? You know, so Cod is my backup all the time when I'm here. But anyway, we are going to continue with this Bible here. Me tell us that this Bible here is something else. It's not something simple. It's not something simple. No wonder the people who like to convert and condemn people don't read the Bible. Yeah, cause yeah, they're not gonna read it. They will convert and condemn you, but they ain't reading it for themselves. That's why you need the commentary. That's why you need you might not always agree, but it brings some clarity. And you know the thing too, legend. I don't mind hearing other people's views. I don't mind hearing other people's views and people who are rational and reasonable. I always seem to come across some people who they just talk. You want to hear them say something that is Bible based. You understand? I want to hear you read a scripture, read a story in the Bible or something, and say what you believe based on the Bible, since you claim to have been so versed in the Bible and claim to have read the Bible, been reading the Bible since you were 7, and you are now 60, and you have read the Bible back and forth, in and out, and you can quote a scripture, but at the same time, you just talking. I find that with a lot of people, they are morning son. I find that with a lot of people who claim that they are doing this Bible study on the internet. And I'll be going back and forth trying to hear something, to learn something. Some people are so stuck in like the laws of Moses. It's like these people would rather us go back to live like the way Moses had told the people God told him to live, told him to tell them to live. You know, it just seems to me so archaic, so backwards. I mean, it just seems to me like an ego trip where people are saying, "Oh, you can't. Oh, women not supposed to wear jewelry, and women not supposed to wear trousers, and women not supposed." It just seems like they keep focusing on what women are not supposed to do, and they don't. They just fail to understand that the Bible is written from a patriarchal point of view. Historically, the Jewish, so I mean, establishment, whatever you call it, was I got a brain for it right there just now. But you have to understand that historically, you know, Jewish civilization was not meant to incorporate women as having any important role in their society. It wasn't. It was designed for men, meant to be the priests, meant to be the leaders, meant to be the the rulers, meant to be the prophets. You know, that's how it's designed. And whenever we see a female rise above that, we had the prophetess Huldah. They were not so recognized. They were mentioned with a little snippet in the Bible. Why? Because basically because they were not men. When Ophelia believed that as a woman, she could become king of Israel, she went ahead and slew all of her grandchildren in order to become the king queen of Israel. So if you want to apply those old archaic laws to today's modern society, it is ridiculous. It is misplaced. The King James Version is more poetic because it was commissioned by the English to be translated. And when you read the New International Version, you might have a different understanding. I very well might. I very well might, and I might take you up on that. I might take you up on that and compare the two and see, where the differences come in and whether or not the writings change the meanings or my understanding of what I am reading. I could take you up. I could take you up on that, but it's not going to be before I finish the reading of this one, of the King James version. Okay. But anyway, we are going to continue reading. We are going to be on our last chapter for today. That's going to be chapter 9 in the book of Zechariah. By next week we should, okay, so tomorrow we will finish Zechariah, and then Friday we will read Malachi. What? Yeah. Friday we will read Malachi, and then we're gonna take a pause. No, we're gonna have no reading Saturday morning, Sunday morning, or Monday morning. And then we will come back Tuesday morning around this time to start the New Testament. All right, I can't wait. But anyway, let us continue. Zechariah chapter 9. Why do you want to continue with the kids? Matter of fact, read it. Yes, I have been reading the King James Version from Genesis. When I started this journey 2.5 years ago, I started with the King James Version. And I'm not going to just switch from the King James Version now to go read the New International Version. When I'm through reading this, I might, I might read the New International Version as you suggest, and compare it with the King James Version, because I'm going to go this over again. I'm not just going to read it one time and and be done with it. I'm going to continue. I'm going to read it again and again, because you can't just read it one time and understand it. I mean, and it's not even so much so the understanding as much as I want to at least become aware of the contents of the Bible. At least become aware of the contents. Because all my life, all my life, I have been given the Bible as my moral guide. I I was never told why. I was never given an explanation. I've been asking for explanation for this book since I was 10 years old. Them say you need God in your soul. Them catch me, them baptize me. Them say you need God in your soul. You ask too much question. Yeah. Well, now I am big enough and old enough to be responsible for myself and my own deeds. Therefore, I think it is incumbent on me that I read this Bible and be aware of its content. All right, let's move along. Before Winsome tell Mr. Mayor talk too much. Oh, of course, yes, Legend. You gotta ask questions. When something seems foggy in your mind, you gotta ask questions to get some clarity. But I find that a lot of people, especially people who claim to know the Bible and claim to use the Bible to teach, to convict and convert people and condemn people, they do not like you asking relevant questions. They don't like it because it seems like you are a troublemaker. Yeah, they be quick to call you an heathen, tell us say you blaspheme, you go to hell, and that is their way of either shutting you up or getting you to just throw your hands in the air and agree with whatever it is that they are saying. But that's not me, and I am not frightened by the threat of this proverbial hell that you are talking about. I'm not frightened by it, not one bit. So nobody can trick me and because Yaga got hell, Yaga got hell. No, 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 no. Don't give me no foolishness. Don't give me that kind of nonsense. Okay, that's just me. Now you are free to do whatever. I'm not here to tell anybody come follow me or do as I do. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. But that is just me. I am not frightened. I'm not afraid. I'm not, because you tell me, oh, you're gonna go to hell, all this foolishness. That means I should stop asking questions. That means I shouldn't be curious? No. But anywho, we are going to continue. Chapter 9 of Zechariah. Let me see what else Zechariah has seen in his vision. The burden of the word of the Lord is the burden of the word of the Lord in the land of Hadrach and Damascus shall be the rest thereof. When the eyes of man, as of all the tribes of Israel, shall be towards the Lord, and Hamath also shall border thereby, Tyrus and Zidon, though it be very wise. And Tyrus did build herself a stronghold, and heaped up silver as the dust, and fine gold as the mirror of the streets. Behold, the Lord will cast her out, and he will smite her power in the sea, and she shall be devoured with fire. Ashkelon shall see it and fear. Gaza also shall see it and be very sorrowful, and Ekron, for her expectation, shall be ashamed. And the king shall perish from Gaza, and Ashkelon shall not be inhabited. And a bastard, and a bastard. Denise, Denise, me up and running early, right? Yeah, so them hours here are my hours. Yeah, them hours here are my hours. All the time. I don't know, me just like when I wake up early. Yes, when I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, when I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, between 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock, let me tell you something, Denise, I can do so much. I can do so much. If me have a paper for writing, you say me wake up 2 o'clock in the morning. It just coming like my mental juices just start hey, juices. Anywho, just flowing at that time of the night. You see, after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, come, me already done one whole day's work. One whole day's work already. Yeah. So me love them hours there. Me love them. From 2 o'clock me get up, From 2 o'clock me get up. Me have one blanket over there, so me that work pan and me drop about 4 lines a night since me wake up and do some other things around the place. I see me here. And me I read the Bible, and when me done, me I go get up in a few minutes because me have to go get my grannies them together for carry them at school and all these good things. Just come in from my night hustle now. You mash up. Hush. Hush. Me take a few days to rest my body. My body tired. Yeah, me have to rest. Me have to rest my body. Age is creeping up on me. They see what's up. Age creeping up on me, Denise. Creeping up. Yeah. It a crawl up on me, so me have to rest. But you take your rest, my love, so that you can wake up rejuvenated and ready. And ready again. If you gonna get mashed up again. Okay, guys. Back to that's how we do. Go to work, get mashed up, come home, rest, go back, go get more mash up. Hey, you understand? I mean, come like we love the mash up. But you have to come up with a way if you get rich. You have to come up with a way. Or we not have to go get up and go to nobody place. For them mash we up, we'll come back home. We do it one mashing up. Right, Desi? All right. So, guys, this morning we are reading the book of Zechariah. We are hearing what Zechariah seen in sleep, his visions for the reestablishment of Israel, the reestablishment of his Jewish community, because at this time when Zechariah is talking, when he is writing, what he's writing about here is after Nebuchadnezzar destroyed Israel and taken all the people and slain and destroyed the entire country of Israel, the whole city of Jerusalem. And so Zechariah, among the other priests, the priests and prophets, are dreaming and wishing and hoping for the reestablishment of their community with the help of their God. All right. Legend is in the chat. Legend has been here um helping me out as we go along, which I sincerely appreciate. So let us continue, guys. We are on to Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 5 again. We're going to read. Ashkelon shall see it and fear. Gaza also shall see it and be very sorrowful. And Ekron, for her expectation, shall be ashamed. And the king shall perish from Gaza, and Ashkelon shall not be inhabited. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines, and I will take away his blood out of his mouth, and his abominations from between his teeth. But he that remains, even he, shall be for our God, and he shall be as a governor in Judah, and Ekron as a Jebusite. And I will encamp about my house because of the army, because of him that passeth by, and because of him that returns. And no oppressor shall pass through them any more, for now have I seen with mine own eyes. Verse 9 says, Rejoice greatly. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, thy king cometh unto thee. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding upon an ass, and upon a colt, the foal of an ass. And I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim, and the horse from Jerusalem, and the battle bow shall be cut off, and he shall speak peace unto the heathen, and his dominion shall be from sea even to sea, and from the river even to the ends of the earth. As for thee also, by the blood of thy covenant, I have sent forth thy prisoners out of the pit wherein is no water. Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. When I have bent Judah for me, fill the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. And the Lord shall be seen over them, and his arrow shall go forth as the lightning, and the Lord God shall blow the trumpet, and shall go with whirlwinds of the south. The Lord of hosts shall defend them, and they shall devour and subdue with slingstones, and they shall drink and make a noise as through wine, and they shall be filled like bowls, and as the corners of the altar. And the Lord their God shall save them in that day as the flock of his people, for they shall be as the stones of a crown, lifted up as an ensign upon his land. Verse 17. For now great is his goodness, and how great, no, for how great is his goodness, and how great is his beauty. Corn shall make the young men cheerful, and new wine the maids. Let me read this today again. Verse 16. Guys, let me read right this again. And the Lord their God shall save them in that day as the flock of his people, and they shall be as the stones of a crown, lifted up as an ensign upon his land. For for how great is his goodness, and how great is his beauty. Corn shall make the young men cheerful, and new wine the maids. That means corn gonna make the young men cheerful, and new wine is going to make the maids cheerful. Well, whatever that means. Anywho, we have come to the end. We have come to the end of this morning's reading of the book of Zechariah, chapter 6 through 9. The Bible continues to do what it does, my friends. This is the vision of Zechariah, what he claims to have seen in his vision for his people, the Jewish people, for the reestablishment of Israel, where his God is talking to him, he claims, and telling him, he's no longer going to be far away from them like he was from their foreparents. He's now going to be very active in their lives. He's going to be present in their lives. He's going to cause them to now flourish. That brings forth a lot of questions that really I don't think is going to ever get answered, because I always ask the questions. I always ask the question that since the Jewish people were, according to Moses, God told him these were his people, these were his chosen people. He was going to, according to what Abraham said, God told him he was going to make his seeds be numberless in this earth. They're going to be like the sand of the sea. There was going to be so many of them, they're going to be ruling the earth. And I'm always at an impasse when I come to that. And I ask the question, so why were they destroyed? What was the point being proven there? Was it to get them to serve him out of fear? Or what was it? What was the purpose? I'm not sure if there's anybody here who have an idea. What was it for? Because I still don't understand why there wasn't any grace or tolerance expressed for these people. It was all this anger and fury that their God was willing to dispense unto them leaves me with a lot of questions, because you don't have to destroy me to correct me. And I guess it is from how I was taught to believe in this God that is probably clouding my judgment as to his capabilities and the explanations into why he does things the way he does. The fear of the Lord is the beginning. Legend on this new international version. Le- Legend, when I go to sleep later, I'm sure I'm going to dream about this new international version Bible. Because I'm not sure what is in that new international version that makes you so adamant that I have got to read it to be able to understand what the Bible is saying. I don't know what is in it. But whatever is in it, I guess I'm gonna have to find out, because I'm definitely going to have to take a look at it, to take a read from it and see what is it. Why you are insisting that I read it. I will. I will. It's for better understanding. All right. Any kind of literature for me to read to get a better understanding, I'm up for the challenge. I don't have a problem at all. I'm up for the challenge. I will. And I'm going to do the Matthew Henry commentary as well. I want to listen to that and hear what he has to say in his commentary about the Bible. Yeah. I thank you so much for that, legend. I appreciate that so much. You know, guys, when somebody comes into the chat and is willing to share additional resources with me, I mean, that means everything to me, because sometimes, as you all see, I'm reading the Bible here, and I really, really could do well with some additional literature to help me understand what in the world I am reading. So I appreciate when somebody comes into the chat and is willing to share something like that with me. I appreciate you, legend. Thank you so much for that. All right. So, guys, we have come to the end of another morning's reading. I want to say thanks again. Wow, 6 o'clock on the dot. I want to say thanks to everybody who came in. I sincerely appreciate you all. Legend, you were the real legend today. I sincerely appreciate you. Denise and Winsome, AG, Desi, Card. There were so many people here. Can't possibly call everybody's name, but there were so many people here. I sincerely appreciate you all. All right. When we come back, tomorrow is what? Thursday, right? Yeah. So when we come back tomorrow morning, we will, when we come back, Desireen, what's up? You just wake up? Have a great day, Denise. We will talk, my love. Yeah, when we come back tomorrow morning, we are going to finish with the reading of the book of Zechariah tomorrow morning. So be prepared. Be prepared to come read with me and chat with me and share with me. Oh, you've been up since 2? Yeah, from 2 o'clock. Me up too. Yeah, because you see, once I go to sleep and I go in a deep sleep and then I wake up, once I wake up, I am awake. May as well me just get up. May as well me just get up and start my day, because once me wake up, me wake. There's absolutely no point in going back to sleep. I know if I lay there, pull the sheet over my head and cover up, I will go back to sleep for sure. Yeah, but what's the point? Just get up, get cracking, do what I gotta do, and ask if I don't have a lot to do today. Yeah, I do. I do have a lot to do today. So I'm gonna get my day cracking. I'm gonna put up one video on YouTube from week. Can you believe it? Yeah. Yeah, I might have to see if I can get that done. Yes, what I mean, Dusty. Yes, you can. If you lay down on the bed, you will go back go sleep. But trust me, if you get up, you'll be surprised how much you can get done before the sun comes up. Yeah, I may have a whole lot to get done before the sun comes up. Yeah, I've got to start get stuff together right now. For, for them kiddos, by the time them wake up, them are gonna start waking up in the next few minutes. Yeah. So that's where we're going to end this morning, guys. I want to say thanks again to everybody who came in to the live. Thank you all so much. I sincerely appreciate you all, guys. All right. That's going to be it from me for this morning. Until next time, guys. So this is Trev from Traversins, where your journey matters. Have yourselves a great day, everybody. Desireen, good to see you.